the hell off the stage. Well, I can't bring him on the stage unless he gets off it. Ladies and gentlemen, our first guest is a young fella you haven't got much time with. So we thought, why not give him his own moment for you to ask questions, get to know his thoughts and feelings, and find out a little more about the myth, the legend that is Benedict! Yeah, it's the whole thing now.
Wow, I like it.
Nailed it. Dude, it's good to have you here.
How are you doing, Ricky?
Great, man. Great. Have you gotten, you know, it's always a treat to have this guy with us. We don't get to see him much
anymore. It's fun to be back.
Is it, did you get up to see the city? What did you do this weekend?
Oh, gosh, yeah. No, I saw the city, saw a show.
Oh, right. What did you see?
The one show playing over there in the city there.
Sure. Yeah, there's that one play going on in New York.
Yeah.
It's a one-play town.
It's there's this square. They've got a square in the middle of the city. Yeah, where they tell time. At Times Square. That's it.
That's great. It's always great to have you with us. And it's too rare.
Thank you so much.
It's a real treat. So,
good to be here.
New Jersey, you're welcome.
Yeah.
Benedict.
Thanks, guys. Thank you. Thanks. Thanks, guys. Hi, everybody. There's a fan blowing here. It's weird. I feel like a model. All right, let's take some questions.
Hi.
Hi.
My question was, how did you get into music, and like, what age were you when you did?
I mean, I've always been into music. I grew up as the youngest in a family of 4 kids, and so my older brother and sisters were always listening to the record player. That's how old I am. And so I always was always listening to music. When I was a little kid, my dad was a DJ, and so he played stuff, and so there was I had so many influences from like my sister's like soul records, to my dad's jazz records, to my other sister's more like rock records of the 70s. So all that really sunk into me. I had such fond memories of sitting in the den where the record player was and listening. But then when I turned 12, I told my mom I wanted a guitar. I wanted to learn how to play the guitar. And so she bought me this guitar from the JCPenney's catalog. And it was like, you know, $50 electric guitar, and it was like a knockoff of Fender. But then I took guitar lessons for like 2 months. And then I just started playing guitar with people who were better than me, who taught me things. So that's, I guess, when I just first started getting into it myself. And when I was like 15, 16, I wrote my first song. So yeah, and from there it's just been like just trying to gain more knowledge and write more music and learn more about it. And I'm never not listening to music. I feel odd if I'm in the house and there's not music playing. So I just am always soaking it in. I just love it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey Rob, happy
Hi.
birthday. I hope you enjoy your popcorn.
Thank you. I am. I already am.
I know you have songs. You said your son's going to Swing Bucket, some Station Breaks Bucket, and some on a solo album possibly. How's the solo album? How's that going to come?
Well, right now with the stage I'm at, I've been writing a lot of stuff since December. I started at Christmas break, and I just haven't stopped. And so I just literally last week sent Station Breaks this file of songs, and I sent Loud and Swing this file of songs, and then I've got this other file that's just for me. So that's kind of the stage we're at. So gonna kind of see what the guys respond to, and then I'm just kind of like putting my mind around the idea of doing some kind of solo record, and kind of just experimenting in my mind with like what that would look like. So I'm in pre-production for some kind of solo record. And of course I don't want that to interfere with the progress that the other two bands are making, but it's something I've never done, and there are some songs that are just almost too personal to play it in the bands that I kind of like to, you know, go a different direction with. So it's going to be an experiment, whatever it is. I mean, and if it comes out and I'm ready to play it for people, then I will. But for sure, I'm going to start working on it. You know, so something will happen. So maybe it'll wind up being a solo record, but I got to do something with it. I don't want it to just sit on my shelf. And I've played a couple of songs when I do these live solo shows, like in Europe. I played a couple songs and it feels good. It just always feels good sometimes to get these things out. There's some things you just have to, I don't know, you have to sing about it. I don't know. It just feels like this emotions that I want to get out. So it feels good to do that. So yeah, stand by. There's lots of good stuff coming.
Hello.
Hi.
First of all, it's Sunday, so Chuck be with you.
Thank you, and with you. me be with you.
This is a weird question.
Okay.
But first, I just wanted to, you have multiple sons, correct?
No, I have one son, one daughter.
Son.
One son, one daughter.
Yeah. Do your son and daughter fight over who's Jesus?
No, my kids are teenagers, and they have, which, I don't know, maybe I don't know what Jesus was like as a teenager, but they, you know, they're really still getting their minds around the fact that I play God on TV. They're at that stage where they're like, Dad, stop. Like if I sing in the car, like that's the biggest embarrassment to them. Dad, stop it. Like, my son got embarrassed because I pulled in to pick him up from school, and I was like, what's up? He was like, oh, Dad, just don't say what's up, just be cool. I thought that was cool. No, you're my dad. But I sing in the car, like, oh, Dad. I'm like, but I'm in a band. Dad, don't even say that, Dad. But then they'll come and see the band play, and they're like, they're thrilled by it, you know, but teenagers are a weird breed. They're like oddly proud of me, but also embarrassed. So no, they haven't asked if they're Jesus or fought over it. And that's a good thing. I'd actually be concerned. No, I'm Jesus. Yeah. What were you gonna say?
I would just think that it'd be cool to call God your dad.
Yeah, you'd think. You'd think. That's what I keep saying to them. Hey, guys, your dad plays God. And they're like, could you just not? So of course when they get embarrassed when I sing in the car, I roll down all the windows and sing even louder. So, they'll thank me later.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Hi.
Hi. First of all, you guys are awesome. I really appreciate what you do.
Thank you.
And second, I was just wondering, like, what the songwriting process looks like for you and Loud and Swing. Like, what's that like?
You know, like, the various things. Many of the songs start as a demo with me, then I'll write the song and I'll record it, and the recording is just me, a couple of voice tracks of me harmonizing with myself, and a guitar, sometimes keyboards, occasionally a drum machine, just to give them an idea what the song is, and then I'll send it to them. And if they dig it, then like, hey, I really like this, let's work on this. And then we all get together, usually get together with the sole function of working on these new songs. And you know, say like 80% of them are songs that I've sort of written, just given to them to work on. And then another 10% are songs that Billy writes, and he sends me the music with the harmony idea, and I'll kind of write lyrics to it and sing over it and sing it and send it back to him. And more that's happening too, you know, where it's, Billy does that. He's such a great musician and songwriter. And then there's another match that's either comes from Steve or Mike or all of us together, just kind of get together and jam. So really it just comes down to like if there's, you know, a melody and a chord progression, everything that we all like, we work on it together. But yeah, like right now we're in the writing process, and like I said, I sent them this batch of songs, and then they've sent each of them have sent me some songs that they need lyrics for, and so I'll kind of sit down and write lyrics. And I think it makes most sense for us because since I'm the one singing, it makes sense that the lyrics are coming from me, because it's usually something I can really relate to or grab onto. But yeah, so it's definitely a very collaborative effort. I mean, even the songs that I write and send to the band, they make their own, and you know, at the end of the day, when it's all put together and packaged, you know, we say songs by Loud and Swain because it has their, you know, influence all over it. So yeah, it's a really fun collaborative process. It's a fun thing. I highly recommend it, being in a band. It's super fun. Thank you. Love you.
Hi, Rob.
Hi.
So, first off, I hope Liam is not dead. I really enjoyed Liam. And for today, are you enjoying that God has finally thrown off the gloves and is turning you into a badass?
Okay, so two-parter. So I hope Liam's not dead, but he seems pretty dead. Is because he got thrown under a train, right?
Yeah.
That was Liam, right? That was my character's name was Liam.
I believe so.
And he died under the train. Is that Liam? From Criminal Minds? No, which one was Liam?
NCIS.
No, yeah. He died under a train. But he'd been in flashbacks. I'm still alive, very well and alive. So let's see if hopefully they'll go back in time again, and then I'm good. But it was just as a sidebar, super fun to play getting thrown under a train. I wouldn't really want it to happen, but they had to take these pictures afterwards of my body mangled by the train, and it was really me posing as a dead body under a train. But that was really cool. And I put on one of my shoes backwards, like this shoe was backwards, so it looked like my foot got turned. It was super gross, but it was just me. And afterwards they're like, oh, that's awesome! And they hung it up in the office. Picture me bloody up in the New Orleans NCIS office. And God, you know what? Yes, I am kind of happy that the gloves are off and we can fight. Because here's the reason. I know you're not happy with me right now, and I get that. I totally get it. But it's fun as an actor to sort of play the meat of stuff like that. And in the past, I've been a very almost passive God, kind of let things happen. And now I feel a little more like an active God, who's getting all Old Testament a little bit. And that's kind of fun to play as an actor. And let's just wait out this next season and see what happens. So don't hate me too much. We'll see what happens. But yeah, it's fun to play. That's for sure. Thank you. I mean, that's what's fun about being an actor is when else is a little 5'6" guy like me able to yell at someone like Jared Padalecki, who's 6'11". You know what? Welcome to the inn. You. Hi.
Hey, Robbie. So I just graduated from music school.
Congratulations.
Thank you. What advice do you have for me to continue, my music path? Be as famous as you one day, talented.
What do you do? Play, sing?
I sing.
Yeah, I mean, the great thing about living near or in New York is you have so many options in the city. And my first recommendation is to book some gigs around the city and start writing your own stuff. And even if you're playing cover songs, you have so many great musicians in that city. You can just hire an accompanist for the night or ask a friend of yours and do a gig and invite everybody you know. You really if you really believe in something, I feel like you don't need to be, it's okay to be a little pushy. You don't need to be shy about it. Early on with the band, we would call all of our friends, please come on Tuesday, can you make it? We really need you there. I remember just saying things like that. And, and it's okay. Sometimes you play to 2 people, and sometimes you play to 30, sometimes you play to 70, the more people that hear you, you know, the better it is. And just keep doing that. And technology today, you can actually record your own music and make a little demo. Do that and hand that out after the show. And just, you know, that's how you can sort of, and then someone's going to hear it, someone's going to say, hey, why don't you come and work on this or sing with this? Hey, let's do a show together, or whatever it is, and that's how you build it out. But nothing's going to happen if you just sit at home and make music for yourself. If you're a musician, you want to be heard. So get out there, you know, and here in New York City is a great place to start.
Thank you.
Yeah, good luck. Hi.
Are there any passions or dreams that you might be interested in pursuing in the near future?
Well, this idea of making a solo record would certainly be something that I would really like to do. It would really be, you know, makes me like excited and nervous, and you know, it's something I'd love to do. The other thing that I'd really like to do is write a book about my experience having a stroke. That's sort of something that I'm kind of sort of working on, a kind of memoirs kind of book. And another thing I'd really like to do is do like a coffee table book of like all these old like band scraps that I have, like handwritten lyrics of our early songs and like tickets from early shows and band posters and just stuff like that. It's just like a, you know, a coffee table book of just like sort of stuff I've collected through the years, because I've got so much stuff that will blow your mind, like just early stuff and early photos, early lyrics, early band name suggestions, just stuff like that that I think people who like the band would appreciate. So yeah, I've got so many ideas and so many things, little projects. I'm always working on something. I write a lot, you know. I'm working on the screenplay right now, and always have ideas to do stuff. So there's always stuff in the works. Whenever the acting work slows down, I like to have something else to do, you know. It's a challenge, you know, but I always sort of motivate myself to keep working on something new. So stand by. There's new stuff coming.
That's amazing.
Thank you. Hi.
Hi. So my question is, so like how God made a bunch of different like universes and like that are all different. What do you think what do you think was one that he would have just made for fun? Like just one that he made for fun?
I mean, I think the squirrels one was probably pretty fun. I mean, there's no why, just for fun. What else do you think he did? I mean, maybe there's a universe where it's just a whole bunch of hymns, because he's sort of egocentric. So maybe there's a universe where it's just a whole bunch of people who look like me. Then you go to the post office and I'm working, and I'm also me. And then everybody passes the street is me. And you go to a football game and everyone in the stadium, it's all me. And the football players are me. And they're all getting hurt because they're me. So they're all like, oh my back. I like that world. Every band on the radio is different me's. So yeah, no, this is a me world. I win you just to see. And that'd be weird because it's like my family would just all be me. Hey Chuck, have you met my son Chuck? And my daughter is my daughter Chuck. Oh yeah. I'm President of the United States. I'm everybody. So that's definitely a universe. I'm also Sam and Dean. I fucking love this world. So yeah, there's definitely that. Why didn't I think of that? Screw the squirrels. Yeah. So yeah, it's just Chuck World. Oh, which is also a great amusement park idea. Welcome to Chuck World. Try one of our donuts. Yeah, it's fun. But there are no roller coasters because we're scared of them. Super fun. Everybody plays checkers. Anyway, thanks for the question. definitely me chuckled.
Hey Rob, my name is Angelica.
Hi.
What is your favorite thing about the Supernatural family and how we saved you because we loved you? And I can't wait for your solo record. I love you.
Thank you so much. You're awesome. Yeah, I feel like you answered the question, and you answered it in your question. I mean, look, the thing I love about the Supernatural family is that truly it is family, and there's just so much love here, and you know, it's something that people who aren't in the world could ever comprehend fully. You know, I always ask people I know to come to one of the conventions just so they can experience it. And everybody who does, everybody who comes from the outside world is always like, oh my God, this is pretty amazing, really, what happens here. It's unlike any other show's conventions. There's something special about the Supernatural family. And it truly has changed my life. You all have changed my life. And quite literally, you know, I had a stroke 6 years ago at a Supernatural convention, and that altered my life forever. And I truly, truly believe that the support and love and prayers of everybody miraculously recovered me. And I truly believe that, because it was really, really touch and go. And it's easier for people to forget that it happened to me. It's easier for me to, well, no, it's not. I think about it every day. But it's easy to forget because I seem fine. But I was really close to not being okay, and it was really touch and go. And I feel, and even people who didn't know me then or aren't aware of it or whatever, I even feel just being here, I feel supported. I just feel supported. And so many of you have said to me that you feel supported by our music or by the work that we do up here or whatever. So it's definitely a mutual thing. But you're a piece of me now. You're part of me. And so it means everything to me. Thank you for your question.
Hi.
Hi.
So, what's going to happen in God in 15 when God tormented the Winchesters? What is that?
Like what's going to happen now?
Yes.
I mean, if I could tell you, I would be fired. If I said anything at all, I'll be fired. I can't say anything other than stay tuned, because you're going to find out. I mean, in this one more season, it's going to answer a lot of questions, I think. And then, you know, so let's reconvene in a year, and we'll go, wow, what just happened? So yeah, I can tell you that I'm in it. I'm in season 15. I can say that. So we'll see. We'll see. I can't say anything else. Richard would kill me and have me fired. So, but yeah, it's gonna be exciting. I can't wait to see. I don't really know.
Hi Rob.
Hi.
I'm Michelle, and first of all, you're the best hugger in all the photo ops. I think you're really wonderful. But
thanks.
You and I are about the same age, and I was thinking about musical influences, and I know in the 80s I loved like R.E.M. and this, and like alternative bands, and also like, and I also hear like 70s music influence as well. Sometimes like a trigger finger, it sounds like the Allman Brothers. But what sorts of bands were you into back then?
I mean, a lot of different bands, but those. I mean, that's you hit it on the head. I mean, I was very influenced by R.E.M. and I love the Smiths. And loved The Cure. And then I was, you know, and then there was another part of me in the 80s that was an MTV kid. So I loved U2, I loved Madonna. Like I was, you know, and all those videos they put on MTV that were kind of pop rock. But yeah, in the 70s, there's such great music from the 70s, and it makes me think of my sisters. That's what they would sort of listen to, you know, Allman Brothers, and Doobie Brothers, like we just played. And then, you know, and then Also, bands in the 70s I think are great, like Boston, you know, and Kansas. I mean, when we did Comic-Con and Kansas played at the Supernatural panel, that was amazing. That was awesome. And so yeah, influenced by all that stuff. And then, you know, and then the older you get, you go back and you listen to that again, and that feeling like, oh my God, this is really, this would be awesome today, you know? So yeah, and REM was a huge influence, and I love the indie flavor of early REM, you know? Yeah, and to this day I really love indie music a lot. I just got Sirius XM, and there's this channel called XMU, and it's like the college station, and it's a lot of indie bands. It's so good. I love it. So, did you have something else? Yeah.
I just wanted to say thank you, and Reckoning's my favorite REM album.
Oh, it's the best. Thank you.
Hello.
Hi.
So my question is, if you, God, were to create a real Broadway-bound supernatural musical, which plotline or episode would you choose to be the basis for it, or would you make your own?
It's a big question. Okay, so I'm making, as God, I'm making a supernatural flavored Broadway musical. So a lot of the stuff that Chuck does is kind of like, it folds back in on itself, right? Like Chuck's the writer of the show, and so, you know, a lot of it sort of falls back on itself. Like as the writer, Chuck's going, I'm ending it. So in his Broadway musical version, it's probably going to look a lot like the musical in the musical version of Supernatural in season 10, the 200th episode. It might look a lot like that. So I don't know, my first thing that comes to mind is like the French Mistake version as a musical, right? Where Sam and Dean, all of a sudden, they're in a reality that is a musical, and everybody's singing, and they're going, what the hell's going on here? And they look at the audience, and they're like, who are these people? You know? So like Sam and Dean are unaware, and they get thrown into this universe. But this is the musical you're watching. So you go, you're on Broadway, you go in, you buy a ticket, you go sit down. The musical is Supernatural, the musical, and in the musical, Sam and Dean come on, and they're like, what the hell is this? What's going on? Why are people singing? What are we doing? Dean's going, what is this? You doing a musical? Right. Give me the mic. And he breaks into this beautiful song. He's got the most amazing voice. And Sam's got some funny songs, where Sam does some dancing too. It's awkward 6'4" dancing. So they kind of like, the whole plot of the musical is that they get into this reality where they're in a live musical, and they break down the fourth wall too. They're like, what are you looking at? Why are you looking at me? They don't know what's going on. And then they slowly, during the course of the musical, really get into it. And they're like the stars, and they're really singing and dancing. And in the very, very end, like, God comes back on, like, all right, you know, fantasy over. And all of a sudden, like, the lights go down, the set goes away, and it's just them on an empty stage with just a house light. And they're like, what the hell just happened? And that's sort of the end of it. And then I come out and have like I play fairly well. And they come on either side of me and give me a kiss on the cheek. It's a great musical.
Excuse me. Who's your favorite red-haired actress on Supernatural?
Gosh, there are lots to choose from. Charlie is pretty great. Oh, you know what? Abaddon was pretty hot. No, wait. Julie McLeod. Wait. Romina McLeod.
I'm glad you finally arrived at the correct answer.
I like your accent. Ruth Connell, ladies and gentlemen, Ruth Connell.
Hi Rob, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm good. I have
first just want to say thank you for always being so kind and just warm-hearted. You just make the room light up, so thank you.
Thank you so much.
My question was, I know that some songwriters, they like write their songs and then they kind of don't relate to them anymore or don't really care for them anymore. I was just kind of curious if sometimes you write a song that's like really personal, if you don't really like relate to it anymore, or don't really, I don't know if that makes sense.
It totally makes sense. It totally makes sense. I actually wonder that too about like bands that I love. Like, you know, is Eddie Vedder tired of singing even flow? And I'm sure sometimes he is, because he's been singing it for so long. But the fact is, and I'm sure it's true for someone like that too. Like you find a new reason to be into it or for it to matter. And with different songs of ours, some nights I'm just not in the mood to play a certain song because it doesn't feel real to connect with it, or just we don't feel like we're there that evening, whatever, we'll make changes last minute. But the other thing is there's a song like She Waits, which we play a lot, and we're very proud of the song, but it's a very difficult song to play because it does have emotions for me. And then some nights, the emotion changes, for some reason. Last night, a lot of times it's because I'm angry about what happened when I was a kid, and that's the original reason I wrote it. But sometimes it's about forgiveness. And it's like I don't want to be hateful. I don't want to hate somebody because of something somebody did to me. I want to forgive him. And that's what it becomes. So the emotion might change. But I always try to find a real link to that song. As an example of an emotional song we play a lot. Try to, because you never want to be Vegas about it, like you're faking it, like, hey, she waits for you. And, so I want it to be real. And so, yeah, last night it became this thing about finding strength. When I started the show last night, I had this piercing headache. It doesn't always happen, but I had this really, really scary, nail in my eye headache right before the show started. And, we all were freaking out a little bit because it was eerily similar to the stroke thing. And so everybody's on guard a little bit, including me, and it's scary. I had a bit of a panic about it. I'm having a panic attack, to be honest. And I come on stage, and during that first song, I'm barely hanging on. And there was a strength I found in everybody cheering so loud. I found it. I found it, and the drugs kicked in. No, literally I took 2 Advil, but the Advil kicked in. I was drinking soda on stage, so I was just trying to fight the headache. And eventually by the second song, it went away. And I think about the third song was when I was rolling around the ground. I was just so fucking happy it was gone. And I was alive. I wasn't gonna die. I knew it wasn't a stroke. I was gonna be fine. The band, everyone's freaking out because the first song I'm kind of mumbling through the lyrics. I got low to the ground because I thought I was gonna pass out. It was bad, dude. It was bad. But then I got through it and I was fine. So by the time I got to She Waits, the She Waits just about I made it. And I made it because of you guys. You supported me. And so it became this, that was the emotion, even though I'm singing about my dad leaving my mom, that's what I was singing about. So I guess my point is you find a new thing to sing about. I'm a very open, honest person, obviously. And so if I fake it, you're going to know I'm faking it. So I have to find something real in that moment. So I hope that helps.
Thank you, it does. Hi there.
Hi.
Hi. I was wondering, how do you think God's Vacation with Amara went?
I think it went really well. It was long. A lot of talky. I think that they're okay. I think they're okay. I think they're good with each other, but it's hard to say because at the end of the day, there still are darkness and light, yin and yang. So I don't think they're ever going to sort of, it's like two people who disagree on politics. I think they can learn, they'll sort of shake hands, but I respectfully disagree. And something tells me that that's kind of where they're at. That's kind of where they're at. So, yeah. But it was nice. They did a whole, it was like at a resort on a beach. And really, it's real nice. Up in heaven and whatnot.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, sure.
How'd it go, buddy?
Oh man, it went so well.
Really?
Yeah, it was great. How do you guys feel okay? Wait, I'd like to do one more.
Yeah, real quick.
Oh, real quick, we're in a hurry, so real quick.
Hi, big fan.
Thank you.
So my mother and I saw you during that Great Tower spoof with Bill Hader and Fred Armisen.
Yes.
what was happening? Like, it was like super, like, terrifying. Like, what were you thinking during that filming of that terrifying drug trip of a documentary?
I was thinking, I can't believe I get to work with Fred Armisen and Bill Hader. This is fucking awesome. And I didn't want to leave. I just, like, even when I wasn't in the scene, I was just watching them because I'm a huge fan of both of theirs. So that was really what I was thinking. But also just, yeah, I don't know. I was just along for the ride, you know? And I love that it kind of got weird at the end and then I got killed. That's super fun. Documentary now. It's on IFC or you can find it on Netflix or something. Yeah, check it out. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Ladies and gentlemen, Benedict.
Interesting choice.
Very jazzy.
Interesting choice. Oh, okay.
We don't have time for time questions.
Richard, go again.
Our next guest is a kleptomaniac, Romina.
She's a black magic woman. She's a black magic woman. Stop it. She's a black magic woman. Got me so blind I can't see. You're ruining the song. That she's a black magic woman and she's gonna make a devil of light. You're ruining the song. It used to be a good song. And now Mike gets to dance with Ruth and he's ruined by you. You're a black magic person and you're a big pile of poo.
So sorry, you guys. Sorry. You'll get another chance after, maybe.
Oh man, that was great. Ruth!
Richard?
You've been drinking probably, you steal stuff from hotels.
I do. I steal hearts from hotels, Richard.
What? Hearts?
Hearts and minds.
Do you have a bag of crap with you?
Yeah, I do. It's in there.